I went to the Arthur Ashe Institute of Public Health because I wanted to be a medical professional, like specifically a doctor, because like my grandmother and my mother only became registered nurses when they could have became doctors. So I want to do that for them, kind of.
Okay.
So that's like one of my primary motivations.
You want to be a surgeon now that you started the...
Well, I kind of want to be a biomedical engineer. I have to do some research. I think that'd be like more for me since I'm really math and science. And I think like Arthur Ashe has like benefited me because I now have like a deeper understanding of the human body. Like even though I wouldn't be like a doctor per se, like I still think that my knowledge of anatomy and physiology I learned from here will be useful in biomedical engineering.
As a biomedical engineer, how do you want to apply that? Do you know that yet?
Well, biomedical engineer, I just basically want to build like prosthetic limbs, possibly, and also like maybe merge like humans and also like machines, so allow people to like regain control of their bodies. For people who have like either like lost limbs, people who have diseases like say Parkinson's or other like neurodegenerative diseases that cause them to not have full function of like their body. Like that's what I want to do, like help people like that.
And I joined the academy on my sophomore year, and I plan to be a pediatric cardiologist.
The 1968 scholarship award.
And I saw that you worked in a Korean health center. Tell me about that experience briefly.
Korean community services. Basically, we had to produce a research project about disparities amongst the minority community, and I chose mental health because that particular organization didn't have anything concerning mental health. So I gathered information about the disparity amongst the Asian Americans, and I found that they have a higher rate of suicide. Which depression leads to suicide. So they need more help with the mental health.
So do you speak Korean? No. Well, that was a really good job. What is your future goal? Are you going to be a psychologist or?
Actually, I want to be a nephrologist.
We're the last charity that Arthur started before he passed away. And for 18 years, we've been trying to promote the Arthur Ashe legacy, really developing meaningful programs in Brooklyn that really raise the level of awareness of what Arthur stood for. So what we're trying to do is really develop model programs in Brooklyn that can be replicated and in other parts of the country. So our focus is really in developing programs that address social and cultural issues that affect health and wellness. And we do it by using non-traditional settings like beauty salons and barbershops and going to places where people really are in the community. And then the work that we do with the Health Science Academy really spoke to Arthur's belief in academic excellence, but also in community health empowerment. And just because you take a young people from a community in which you want them to come back and serve, doesn't mean that they will want to come back and serve unless you really make it relevant for them in terms of what it is and what it means to serve in that community. And that's really what the Health Science Academy is all about.
You're a doctor of nephrology, which deals
kidney specialist.
So what should African Americans be concerned about with their kidneys?
Well, the highest risk for kidney disease is still in African Americans. We have a high risk for hypertension and diabetes, and those are the most common reasons why people get kidney failure. And so people really have to, there are no symptoms really for kidney failure. So people just have to go to the doctors, get their kidneys checked up, make sure your blood pressure is checked, make sure you have diabetes checked for whether you have diabetes or not. Those are the most important things because the kidney itself will not manifest until it's very late.
And so you're being honored tonight because of your community. You work in Brooklyn, right?
That's correct.
And in Brooklyn, where's your favorite place to eat?
Oh man!
So you are right.
You got me right there.
We're a fun website. The kidney stuff is kind of sad.
I know, you got me right there. I think I enjoy all the foods. Basically every restaurant I enjoy. I think Salvis is probably one of our best restaurants in Brooklyn.
Okay.
freelance. I go wherever they need me, whenever they need me. Right now, we're involved in the playoffs.
Right.
So we'll be focusing all of our attention on trying to promote fan interest in the Garden and the playoffs coming up. During the summer, we'll have our Junior Knicks Summer League.
Oh, great.
We'll also have summer basketball camps that I'll be involved with. That'll be the primary focus for the summer. And when we're playing well, it's great. I was there. I did the last championship game.
Yes, sir.
In '73 on television. I was on TV then.
Yes,
with a guy named Bob Wolf. We did that last game from LA. And that series, the Garden was rocking every night. The team was playing well. They had a series winning streaks. And they were playing great. When they were, the crowd was very enthusiastic. The place was electric. Then they went down. Then they came back. And they went down. Now they're back again. And the Garden's going to be alive and jumping and hopping once again.
No, I've never met him, but I've always admired him as an athlete, but more so as a humanitarian.
And you as an athlete, who are you as a humanitarian?
Well, you know, there's so many other athletes who give so much of themselves, and you know, what I try to do is emulate some of those that have inspired me, whether it's Arthur Ashe or Althea Gibson, or you know, so many other athletes who give of themselves just to try to make a difference in the lives of other people. That's the thing that gives me a reason to sleep well at night.
Okay. And my last question to you: who do you admire? What current athlete do you admire today? Or a few, if you have a few of your favorites.
You know, all of those athletes who are about doing good and giving back to the community. Those are the guys and young ladies who I admire. Now, I don't have a whole list of those individuals, but if they're doing good in the community, then I admire them. It's not necessarily about what they do on the playing field or the basketball court or whatever. It's what they do off the field that really impresses me. Guys like Derek Jeter, who have been giving back since he came into Major League Baseball.
Once again, folks, it is time
it's individuals like that that I truly admire.
Method actor, I guess you could maybe call me that, you know. Usually it depends on what the character's going to be about, what's happening with it. I love getting out of myself and transforming myself into another type of character. And I love it so much that I have a tendency to believe that that's what makes it believable. So,
good.
But I've been very, very fortunate. I've met some great people over the years of my life to be able to take some of their characters and make them into mine.
Now, why are you here tonight? Why is this cause so important?
Well, I mean, I was a huge fan of Arthur Ashe, and this being a benefit for him and for his foundation. When I got the call to come, I kind of jumped at it. He was such a great athlete, a great person working for communities and charities and things like that. I didn't think twice about being a part of this.
Now, my last question: what charities besides this one are dear to your heart?
Well, you know, I have a few. There's one here in New York that I work with a lot, which is called Career Gear, which helps young, impoverished men get their careers together and find jobs and things like that. And then I also have my own foundation, which supports drama and theater throughout the United States. So I would say with those two, that keeps me very busy.
He was one of the greatest tennis players ever.
Okay. And so,
well, you know, I think that the players are generally always right. The players are workers. I'm always for the workers, and the workers should always get a fair share. And so, yeah, I mean, I think if you have to be locked out, I think whatever it takes to get your fair share.
It just means, I mean, he's just an inspiring person. I mean, to hear all the things that he was able to do in his short life, and not only while he was alive, but to leave such a great legacy. I mean, I remember growing up and just really, knowing him as a tennis player, but you learn about everything that he did off the court, and the lasting legacy that he left here with the Arthur Ashe Institute for Urban Health.
What player playing today, or a few players, can you name that embody Arthur Ashe's spirit in terms of commitment to community?
I think Andy Roddick does. I think because he was honored a couple years ago. He spoke about all the different things that he's able to do off the court. I think it's just, I mean, everyone does their own part.
Yes,
you know what I mean? Maybe it's not to the extent that Arthur does, but everyone's trying to do their part to give back. They've been given a hand up, and they want to do the same thing.
Well, what's really important this evening is this is an entire emphasis on the health of Americans and the future health of Americans. The Institute really and truly is dedicated to making Black America healthier than we already are, and we really need the help. And I chose the American Heart Association, one, because I have a very personal connection. I had open heart surgery just over a year ago, and I found out really that the heart disease, cardiovascular disease, is the #1 killer of all Americans, but it's the #1 killer of African Americans, and it beats the next 4 causes of death combined.
Wow.
There are 82 million Americans with heart disease, and it's very imperative that African Americans get issues like diabetes, obesity, kidney disease under control. High cholesterol, tobacco use, and a sedentary lifestyle is what's leading to cardiovascular disease. So I've dedicated myself with work for the American Heart Association to really getting America heart healthy.
Now,
Ashe is an icon, and not just an icon on the court, but an icon in the world of trying to save lives. He lived a life of truth, a life of authenticity, and because of his truth, many of us get a chance to do what we do today. So his courage is cross-generational, is multifaceted, and it cuts across different fields of human endeavor. So I am because Arthur was.